Hey, my name's Joel. Welcome to Unleash Your Serve System course. With this tennis serve course, you'll be able to understand and master the fundamentals of the tennis serve. With lots of practice and refinement, I'm sure you'll be able to hit the type of tennis serves that you want in your tennis game. Now, this serve course is broken into several parts. So do make sure you check the YouTube thumbnails and the description in order to follow the sequence of the serve course. If you like the content that you're watching, do click the like button and subscribe to Unleash Your Tennis channel. Alright, without further delay, let's jump into today's lesson right now. In this lesson, I'm going to explain to you the different serve stance that you can use for your serve. There are two types of serve stance that I'm going to explain. The first one is the platform stance, and the second one is the pinpoint stance. For the platform stance, you will see players like Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic using the platform stance. For the pinpoint stance, you will see players like Andy Murray and Thomas Berdych using the pinpoint stance. So let me explain to you how does the platform stance look like. So when you go to your starting position for the serve, this is for the left-handed serve. For the right-handed serve, you'll be this way. Alright. So when you go to your starting position, your back leg will stay throughout when you serve. This is for the platform stance. Right, so you see the ball toss, right? The legs are remaining on the spot for most of the time during the serve. The only time when you move is when you launch up and you step into the court after you contact the ball. For the pinpoint stance, you will find that your back leg will shift up to join the front leg when you serve. Alright, so I repeat, for the pinpoint stance, as you toss the ball, this back leg will come up to join the front leg before you contact the ball. So when you're learning the serve, discover what is your natural stance. If you find that you are a natural platform stance server, stick to it. If you are a natural pinpoint stance server, stick to it. There's no need to change. For now, the most important thing for you when you learn the serve is to learn how to stay balanced, and eventually, as you get better, learn how to use the legs to drive more power to the serve. In this lesson, I'm going to explain to you what is the trophy pose. The trophy pose is the most important position in your serve because this is the stage where you load up your energy and getting ready to contact the ball. So how does it look like? When you get to your starting position, you will begin your toss and the racket swing, and you will end up in this position like this. This is what we call the trophy pose. So a good trophy pose will have these features. Okay, number one, the tossing arm is straight up, pointing to the sky. Number two, the racket is prepared somewhere behind the head, getting ready to throw onto the ball. For the lower body, you will find that your legs are loaded with the knees bent. Alright, so knees bent, loaded, getting ready to launch up, and the hip is tilted slightly out towards the court. So overall, the trophy position will look like this. Alright, another thing to take note is, you'll find that the shoulders are tilted. Your tossing arm shoulder is above the racket arm shoulder. Alright, so you see the shoulder tilted in this trophy position. So now let me guide you through how to get to your trophy pose. when you start with your starting position, alright, the ball will be in your hand and you prepare your racket this way. As you start moving, the tossing arm will move up and then the racket hand will start to shift back. Alright, so this is the first move. Next thing is I'm going to talk about the racket hand. Okay, so pay attention to this part. There are a few ways that players move their racket hand. Number one, some players will go up immediately. Alright, the racket hand goes up immediately and you will come into this position. This is what we call the abbreviated backswing. Another way is the elbow is pulled back, alright, as if you are jabbing someone at the back. Alright, so the elbow pulls back and then the racket comes up and goes behind the head. There's another way of doing. Alright, so let me repeat. The elbow pulls back and the racket goes up and behind the head. The thing that I do not want you to do is your racket hand goes straight back this way. This is a common mistake. The racket goes straight back and then come up. This is not advisable because you're locking the elbow here, and then by the time you come up, you'll be too slow and inefficient. Alright, so try either this abbreviated backswing where your racket hand goes up, or the elbow pulls back and then racket comes up behind the head. Alright, so this is how you should move. Tossing arm and racket hand move in this rhythm. Alright, so for now, concentrate on the upper body first. You can do 20 repetitions. Alright, so start from this position. Move the tossing arm and racket hand together. Right, you can even follow me and let's do it together. Alright, so continue and do this for 20 repetitions. After that, you can shift your focus a little bit to your lower body. So as I toss the ball, I am bending my knees this way. As I toss, I bend. Alright, so this is the rhythm that you will be adopting. Alright, so practice this shadow movement first. Make sure you get your trophy position correct. Alright, get this trophy position correct, and I'll see you in the next lesson. In a previous lesson, you have learned how to practice the trophy pose using shadow movement. So in this exercise, you are going to practice the trophy pose with a ball. Alright, so basically in this exercise, what I need you to do is to go to your trophy pose and catch the ball above the head. So let me demonstrate how it looks like. So I go to my starting position with the racket and ball in front. Alright, so I'm preparing to serve. So as I move my tossing arm and racket hand, I'm going to release the ball somewhere at my eye level. Okay, this is what we have learned in module 2. So after I release the ball, I'm going to catch it above the head. Alright, so let me show you. So when we do this exercise, we want the racket to be around here, somewhere behind the head, as we catch the ball up above the head. Alright, so this is to practice the serve, almost the full serve, alright, with the tossing of the ball. Alright, so once you get this right consistently, without having to move the legs to catch the ball, you are more or less getting ready for the full serve. So my suggestion is to practice this exercise for 20 good repetitions, making sure that you are able to catch the ball up here consistently, and then we'll go to the next lesson where you will execute the full serve. In this lesson, we are going to the full serve, but I'm going to break the serve into two parts. So you can start off from the service line first. Alright, go to your starting position. How I'm going to break the serve into two parts is, the first part will be going to the trophy post with you catching the ball above the head. The second part will be from here. I want you to re-toss the ball and hit the ball over. Alright, so the second part is basically what you have done in module 2. We're going to apply that again. Alright, so let me demonstrate to you how it looks like. So I get ready my serve. I go to my trophy post, catch the ball here. Next thing, I'm going to relax my hitting arm by bouncing a few times to make it loose, make the shoulder loose. And then from this position, I re-toss the ball and I hit the ball over. Alright, so let me demonstrate. So from here, alright, I bounce a few times to loosen the shoulder, re-toss again, and contact the ball. So one more time. Catch it above the head, re-toss, and contact the ball. One last time. Catch the ball first. Alright. Re-toss, and contact the ball. In this lesson, I'm going to explain more in details about the follow-through in the serve. When I spoke to tennis players who have been playing tennis for some time, some of them have the idea that the serve is a diagonal downward swing to the opposite side of the body. Alright, so what I meant is, they thought the serve is an upward contact followed by an immediate diagonal downward swing to the opposite side of the body. They have this idea probably because when they watch YouTube or watch television on how the pros serve, the pros have the tendency to serve and finish on the opposite side. This is true because all the serve will finish on the opposite side of the body. So, what happens in the actual racket path? In the previous module, I have shared with you that the contact point is actually an up and out movement. Alright, and I asked you to practice hitting the ball and finish on the same side, this way. Alright, so the follow through comes when, after I contact the ball and finishing here, I want to turn in to face the opponent. So that's where the coming in takes place. Alright. Now, if you watch Roger Federer serve slow motion, you will find that his racket swing path is from here. Alright, his racket will go to his right side, and then he will finish the racket on the left side. So now you understand how the follow through comes about. Go back to your serve, and this time around, focus on how do you arrive at the follow through. Alright, so let me demonstrate two serves. I'll be slowing down the finish, right, so that you can see clearly what happens after I contact the ball and how did the racket end up on the opposite side of my body. Right, so as you can see, my contact point is up and out, and then I lean in such that the racket is finishing on the opposite side of my body. So go back to your serve, practice, and this time around, discover how your follow through comes about. In the previous lesson, we have broken the serve into two parts. So in this lesson, we are going to combine into one. So what I need you to focus on today is to focus on the rhythm of the toss and the racket hand movement. So in this exercise, you're going to serve the ball, but there's no need to put into the specific service box. Get into the rhythm of tossing and the racket hand movement, and I want you to serve the ball over the net. Alright, so let me demonstrate how it looks like. So I focus on the rhythm. One more. One more. Right, so in this exercise, I wasn't focusing on putting the ball into the service box. I was focusing more on the rhythm of the toss and the hit. So go ahead and try this out. Do 20 good repetitions, and I'll see you in the next lesson. In this lesson, we're going to serve into the correct service box. Right, before I go into the focus points, I want to remind you that when you're serving from the deuce court or from the ad court, your starting position remains the same. Right? So for the left-handed players, I will be serving facing this side of the court. Alright, whether I'm from the deuce court or I am from the ad court. For the right-handed players, you will be facing this side of the court when you're serving from the ad court or from the deuce court. Alright, so take note of your starting position. Alright, so I want to focus on three things when you are serving into the correct service box. Number one, you must have the intention of where you want the ball to go. So at our level, our intention is to serve into the diagonal service box in front of us. Alright, so set your intention clearly before you execute the serve. Number two, learn how to feel the contact point. Alright, so when I'm serving from the deuce court, alright, I will feel that my contact point is somewhere here, such that the ball is going to the opposite service box. And when I'm serving from the ad court, I must feel that the contact point is somewhere here, so that the ball will go into the diagonal service box. Alright, so learn how to feel the contact point. As you get better and better, your feel will get more sensitive, and this will help you in other aspects of your tennis game. Finally, I want you to focus on the body orientation. Alright, when we are serving, we want to stay sideways as long as we can. Alright, in the lesson when I talk about the follow through, the turning into the court only happens after you contact the ball. Alright, many players like to rotate very early such that when they serve, they straight away rotate to face the opponent. Alright, by doing so, you may find that your serve tends to swerve into a down the line direction. Alright, if I'm serving from the deuce court, alright, I need to maintain this sideways position so that my ball can go into the diagonal service box. If I rotate too early, from here, you'll find that my racket is turning this direction and the ball is going straight instead. So now let's practice our serve with the 3 important points in our mind. Alright, so I'm going to demonstrate 2 serves, one from the deuce court and one from the egg court. Alright, so before I execute the serve, I must set the intention clearly that I want to place the ball diagonally into the service box. I must learn how to feel the contact point such that when I contact the ball, it is going to the correct direction. And then number 3, I remind myself not to over-rotate too early. Alright, I want to stay sideways as long as I can. So let's do one serve from the deuce court. Alright, so that's one serve from deuce court. Now from egg court, the same thing, I go through the 3 points. Alright, I set the intention clearly. I want the ball to go diagonally into the service box. I must learn how to feel the contact point. Alright, such that when I reach up to contact the ball is going to the correct direction. And then number 3, I remind myself not to over-rotate too early. So let's serve from the egg court. So now go ahead and practice your serve with the intention of serving into the correct service box. My task for you is to practice 20 good serve from each side. Alright, and before you execute the serve, remind yourself the 3 points that I've shared with you. So go ahead and practice now, and I'll see you in the next lesson. That's all for this module of the serve course. I'll see you in the next one. Until next time, happy playing.